Hello everyone, this is a Trendline investor again. Now, today we're going to discuss a very interesting stock from the financing space. Now, every weekend, I sit and go through a lot of stocks using my CCA scanner and try to find stocks which are actually looking very good and which are actually looking good to move ahead. Now, I use both fundamental and technical analysis in my while analyzing the stock. Now, I look for stocks which are actually having an increase in sales, increase in revenue and profits, and also which are looking technically strong from a price perspective, so that we want those continuous higher high, higher lows. So today we're going to look at Equitas Small Finance Bank. Let's jump into the analysis. So I have the screener.in for you. Now, if you don't know what screener.in, I have done a blog separately of how to use screener.in, so you might want to refer to that. But otherwise, Equitas Small Finance Bank was actually formed or spun out of Equitas Holdings. That was actually here. If you see, it's clearly mentioned that. So before acquiring the small bank bank license, they actually after they acquired it, they spun it off into a new unit. And today, this is actually doing very well. Now, most of the banks in India tend to do well because of the massive opportunities that's underlying in the rural areas and urban areas. But this bank is actually very interesting. Now, if you just look at the geographical diversification, it actually is present in 17 states. Now, it's a small bank, but 17 states is still commendable job. And it has a very good loan book, right? So if you go through the loan book, it has a very good loan book. And the majority of the customers come from Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, and Karnataka. So it's more focused towards the south, where there is a lot of some of the biggest industries are down south, and maybe that's also one of the reasons, because a lot of employees employable there. So that's one of the major things. Now, just jumping into the other numbers, right? So we look at three things. One is what is the stock P, what's the ROC, what is the sales, and the profit profile. So here, if you look at the ROC, it is kind of 10.2%. And the stock is trading at a 19 PE. Now, just comparing this to the other banks. Now, remember, this is a very, very small bank in the private banking space because it was formed recently. Now, you can see that here. The IDBI Bank has sales of 20,000 crores, whereas this has just a 3,000 crore sale. Now, if you look at the quarterly numbers since the last few years, since 2019, so they went from 639 crores to 818 crores, right? So that's not a very major jump in revenues, but considering the COVID crash, considering the unemployability and all that, I still think this is a very decent number for this company, and I think they have done well in this recent last 1 year. And if you look year on year, they have grown from 408 crores to almost 3,000 crores. Now, that's a sevenfold jump in just 5 years. Now, some people might say that this is because of the lower base effect. Yes, I totally agree. But still, for a company to do so well is actually a very commendable job. So that's a CAGR of 51% in the last 5 years in sales and 35% CAGR in profits. Now, that's how the fundamental profile looks of this company. A majority of the stake is held by promoters, right? So you see almost 82% stake is held by promoters. So probably not much of free float in the market. When I mean free float, number of shares in the market might be really less. Now, jumping on to the technical analysis. So this is on the daily time frame. So I'm looking this chart on the daily time frame, and you see this beautiful uptrend, right? So how do we define an uptrend? As a series of higher highs or higher tops and series of higher lows, higher bottoms. Now, this is a beautiful uptrend which just keeps going higher, coming down, consolidating. Again, there was this massive spike over here. Now, after this massive spike, somewhere around March, it has been going sideways. And you can see this is also an inverted kind of head and shoulder which is forming here. And it kind of did a price correction, came all the way to the trend line, retested this trend line exactly. Now, this is on the log scale in case you want to know. It came retested exactly around the trend line for around 3 days, and then there was this massive move just in the last week, Wednesday, and then we had 2 days of consolidation. Markets went down, but still this stock didn't go down that much. And if you just zoom in a bit, you see that nice demand popping around the same zone, which was a resistance zone. Now that's a supply zone. Sorry, that was a resistance zone. Now it's a support zone. So that's actually a good sign, and we have given a very good closing above the resistance zone. And I don't see why this stock might not do well in the future. Now, if someone is looking for any levels, so probably I might look for levels of 85 in the short term and probably even levels of 120 in the long run. Now, the stop for the stock is 58, and all the details are mentioned in the newsletter of the 8th edition, so you might want to go through it. Otherwise, I think that's the details about Equitas Small Finance Bank. If you have invested in the stock or if you're considering investing, do let me know in the comment section. And if you do like this stock analysis, share this YouTube channel with your friends, hit the like button. Thank you.